Alright, boys, you see it. Look at the ribeye looking nice and medium. Got some basmati rice, cream soda, Dr. Pepper. YouTube. We're about 2 hours out from training. Cheers. All right, boys. It's about 2:30 a.m. January 2nd, 2026. 2026, guys. I'm so used to saying 2020, 25. 2025. Okay, I don't know why I said 2020, but I'm so used to saying 2025. 2026, you guys. It's a new year. Not that that really matters, but you know, we gotta acknowledge it. So it's about 2:30 a.m. like I said. We've got shoulders and arms today on the agenda. I've got, you know, some gummy bears. We had about 107 grams, I believe. So probably like 100 carbs, 100 grams of carbs. I'll throw up screen, whatever it is. But just took a scoop of pre. Shoulders and arms are planned for today. Yesterday I didn't upload a video. To be honest, I was procrastinating. You know, I gotta admit that to you guys, whoever's watching this, and to myself, that the sole reason I didn't put out a video yesterday, when I 100% could have, is because I was procrastinating, and I simply chose to let how I felt dictate how I acted, you know. I didn't feel like doing it, and so I didn't have to, but I made the choice to listen to and let that dictate my actions, right? But where that ties in to is yesterday, January 1st, right? Well, actually, New Year's Eve, so December 31st, I didn't go to the gym that day. My gym closed early. They closed at like 6 p.m. By the time I had ate and waited for my food to digest, you know, like 2 hours, it was like 4 p.m. I had like 2 hours to train. To be honest, I could have got it done, but I really didn't care to go train, you know, that day. I didn't feel guilty allowing myself to have that day as a rest day, you know, to just stay home, to just eat, recover a little bit more, rest. It's now basically 2 days later, but to me it's almost like the next day, because yesterday I woke up and I fell back asleep, right? I woke up pretty early. I fell back asleep. So I didn't get to the gym really early, you know, before the crowd started to pick up. And I didn't want to go later in the day because my gym is still pretty crowded later in the day, believe it or not. Getting closer to nighttime, so I decided to wait until, you know, 1, 2, 3 a.m. to go. Here I am now, 2:30 a.m. getting ready to, you know, head out to the gym. I had my last meal about 3 hours ago. I had just under a cup of basmati rice, and I had 265 grams of ribeye steak. Pretty big meal. But I always like to wait at least 2 hours whenever I have a meal, you know, an actual meal that isn't something like rice cakes or something more like a snack, you know, faster digestion. I always like to wait 2 hours if I'm having something like chicken and rice, beef and rice, chicken and potatoes, you know, beef and potatoes, turkey and potatoes, eggs and potatoes. But I had my meal, waited my 2 hours, and I was laying down, right, waiting. 2 hours rolls by, and I find myself not wanting to get up. I find these thoughts coming to my head of, what if I just lay down and go to sleep and hit it early tomorrow? But then I had to check that, you know. I'm like, if I go to sleep right now, I'm not gonna wake up early tomorrow. I'm gonna wake up a little bit after, you know, what I would consider early, and realistically before the gym crowd starts to pick up, right? And as of lately, I'm just not enjoying training with really anyone in the gym, to be honest. If it was up to me, you know, the gym would be as empty as it is at 2, 3 in the morning. You know, there would be like 10 people max in the entire gym, including me. That's just the way I like to train, you know. I like to have everything open. I don't like to have to wait for machines. I don't like to have to walk, you know, being like mindful of people, you know, because it's so crowded. It's almost like traffic on foot. I mean, I used to be able to train, you know. I used to just put on my headphones, get in the zone, you know, get tunnel visioned and like block everyone and everything else out. And if a machine was took and I couldn't do an exercise I had planned, I'll do an alternative, you know. I'll let nothing stop me. I'll go in, get my work done, get out, even during peak hours. But now, you know, I'm going in, I'm making a video, so I have to be more mindful of people. I'm trying to be respectful, you know, and try not to be a nuisance. And it's just a lot more going on, you know. And I'm not trying to make excuses for myself. I'm not trying to say I'm gonna stop making videos because it's a little bit annoying or a nuisance. I'm just gonna, you know, try to go back to what I was doing before, you know, showing up to the gym at like 2, 3 a.m. when it's empty. That's what I used to do before anyways, because really that's just what I enjoy, you know. But some days I'd find myself in the gym, you know, at 5 p.m., 3 p.m., 9 p.m. It just depends on the day, you know, on when I would have time to get there. But if it was up to me, you know, I'll be showing up at the gym every day at 2, 3, 4 a.m. before anybody is really there, up, awake, you know, and everybody is still asleep. I'll be there, you know, by myself, because you know, I can just get and feel so much more focused, and it's a lot more quiet. I mean, sure, the gym is blasting like music, you know, like corny gym playlist music, you know, if you know, you know. But I'm not being, you know, bombarded by a 1,000 people, it seems like, talking. You know, it's not so loud that it feels like you're in the mall, you know, or at a cafeteria, you know, where it's overstimulating. At least for me, that's how I feel. I don't really take off my headphones, but if I was to, you know, that's how it would feel. But even then, just having so many eyes around me, you know, the presence of so many people is something I'm not particularly fond of, you know. And it's not to say I hate people, you know, I don't hate people. And I'm not like, I don't get anxiety or anything. But I just, if I, you know, have my preference, my choice of preference, I'm going to be there, you know, in a gym where there's not a lot of people, you know. That's just my environment. That's my vibe. I like to just, you know, be almost alone. I like it to be quiet. I don't want people disturbing me, nor do I want to disturb other people, you know. And you know, there's no one watching you. I don't know, man. I mean, I know why I like it more, you know. I can explain it to myself. I don't really even have to, because it's just something I feel. But like, I don't know if I'm explaining it that well to you guys. I don't know if you guys understand me, but if you understand what I'm saying, like, because you feel it, then you understand. I just like it quiet. I like the environment where I could just get in, do my work, you know, like almost like it's just me doing what I'm supposed to be doing, you know, my goal, finishing my session, training chest and back, training shoulders and arms, training legs. It's like my own little world, you know. At any time of the day, really, even if I go into a gym when it's packed, but even more so when I go at 2, 3, 4 in the morning and there's hardly any people there, you know. Like, it doesn't just feel like it almost is like it is, you know, like visually and like externally, and that only amplifies that feeling, you know. And that's something that really helps me, like, for some reason, just feel super locked in and feel even more motivated. And like, I don't know, the fact, you know, that I'm doing the work when like it's an absurd hour, you know, and nobody's watching me, you know. Not that I care, you know. I want people to be looking at me, but it's almost exactly for that reason, because I don't care for people to be looking at me or to try and impress people. And it's not to brag or anything, but when I show up and there's more people, people will be watching me, you know. They will be watching me do a set. They will be watching me just move around. They will just look at me like, knowing that I take this really serious, you know. And as long as it's not bad attention, I don't mind it. As long as it's not hate, you know, like someone throwing bad vibes at me, I don't mind it at all. But I really don't care for it either, if that makes sense. because I'm doing it for me, you know. I'm doing it for me and just the type of person that I am. I like being alone, doing things on my own, you know, not feeling alone. I'm going on a bit of a rant here, but I just like doing the work when there's barely any other people doing it, you know. At least at that time, I like doing it at an absurd time, you know, in the middle of the night when everyone else is asleep, when maybe I should be asleep myself, you know. And it's almost like because it doesn't make sense and it's a little bit outside the box, that's exactly why I'm doing it, you know. But anyways, you guys, shoulders and arms on the agenda. Pre's kind of starting to hit. Gummy bears kind of upset my stomach, but we're going to head to the gym. I think I'm gonna go to my home gym. I did want to go to another gym, the one I went to in my last shoulders and arms video, just to basically replicate that session, you know, be able to use the same machines, do the same movements, keep it a little bit consistent, and also just for the novelty. But you know, you're not always gonna feel like doing something. You're not always gonna feel like going to the gym. You're not always gonna feel like sitting down to edit a video. You're not always gonna feel like doing your work, you know, going to your job, helping somebody out when they ask you, you know. But feelings, as real as they are, I'm not trying to invalidate your feelings or tell you to invalidate your feelings. Your feelings, they're yours, right? But your feelings are just that. They're only feelings. They're fleeting emotions, you know. You could be angry, you could be sad, you could be excited, whatever emotion, whatever feeling, you know, right now, and in 10 minutes, in 5 minutes, even in 15 minutes, in 30 minutes, you might not feel the same, or you might feel a completely different way, you know. So, and if you don't feel like doing something right and you go and you do it anyways, you get even more of a sense of accomplishment, right, of achievement, because you know that you overcame your own feelings, right, and you did something you didn't feel like doing, you know. You overrode your instinct to just follow your emotions and let them control you, right? All I'm trying to say in short is control your feelings and don't let your feelings control you, you know. I made that mistake yesterday, and just by allowing myself to do it once, you know, almost subconsciously, I was trying to justify allowing myself to do it again, you know, by not going to the gym just because I didn't feel like it. But I know that it's going to be a positive step, you know. It's going to be something productive, right? Something productive, something that's going to move the needle of my progress in my physique, in the gym, into what I love doing, into my passion, right, into bodybuilding, and also into my mind, you know, into my character, into my mindset, my discipline, my inner development as a person, as a man, as myself. But I'm done yapping, you guys. I've been talking for a long time. We're gonna head to the gym, so I'm gonna see you guys once we're there. Okay. Starting with triceps. Doing some flat Smith J press. I'll do a last warm up set. $55 pounds. And get 4 reps. Just to see how heavy it feels today.
Okay. Felt pretty good. Not too heavy. 55. 55. So I think we're gonna try. We're gonna try 70. See how many we can get with this. Okay, so 70 pounds per side right here. Alright. Let's go for that first working set. Goal right here. It's gonna be 5 reps. Okay, let's go. We got 6 right there. Triceps are already starting to feel nice and tight. That was pretty heavy, but I felt lighter than last session when I did it. So we got 6 right there. I think we're gonna stay at that, at 70 pounds. Just try to get 5 or 6 on the second set. So I'm gonna do one more set right here. Then I'm gonna do a preacher curl, probably with dumbbells, so unilateral, since I did barbell last time. Let's go for that second set right here. Shooting for 5. Come on. Boom. 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 Come on. Let me get one more. Come on. Oh, fuck. All right, let's go. We got 5. That's all I wanted. I feel pretty good with those 2 sets, so I'm ready to move on to some unilateral preacher curls. See what we can work up to on those. I think the most I've done is 35 pounds. It's been a few sessions since I did those too. Well, my last warm up right here. Got a 27.5 pound dumbbell. So we're gonna feel this out. We're gonna try and do 35 for our top sets. Alright, let's get straight to it. 35 pounds. Let's go. Okay. All I'm getting is 6 on that one. Crap. Okay. We got 6. That's not bad. I'm really just happy we could still lift that right here. I think we're going to try and do a second set with the same 35-pound dumbbell. Set the goal to match that first set. Yeah, at least 4 or 5, but hopefully 6. We'll have to wait and see though. About ready for that second set. Same 35-pound dumbbell. Goal here is to just match that first set and I'll be happy. Come on, let's go. Okay, yeah, that's it. I don't want to tear a fucking bicep here, so. We'll just do a drop set with this 27 right here. We got 4 with 35. Come on, come on. Oh, fuck. Oh, all I gotta do is match 7 on this right side. Okay. That's a lot easier. That's our 2 sets right there. So I think next we're gonna do the Arsenal overhead extension machine, which I did last shoulders and arms day. Then we're gonna do a machine preacher. Then we can move on to shoulders. So, like I said, Arsenal overhead extension. We got 130 loaded up for the last warm up. Alright. Go straight to working sets. I think we did 170 last time. I'm not sure. So we're just gonna go for 180. Go for broke. Come on. Okay. We got 6 reps. I think I got 8 last time. 8 or 9 with 170. That feels a lot heavier. Alright, that is 180. Gonna rest for a little bit. Try to recover some. And then go for the second set. Okay. Got the same 180. Let's go for that second set. Boom. Come on. Fuck. I don't even know how many that was. I think that was 8. I lost count. I was dying mentally. But we got triceps done. Now we could do a machine preacher curl. And then we can move off the shoulders after that. So we're about halfway done now. We're doing this Arsenal preacher curl. It's got a built-in easy bar. Forgot to put my last one, but it was 50 pounds for 4. So we're gonna try to do our working sets at 60 pounds. Hopefully this isn't a shit angle and you guys can see something. This machine's kind of in a weird spot, so I think any angle would be a shit angle, to be honest. So let's go. Okay. We got 8 on that first set. £60 is heavy on this machine. And that goes all the way up to 200, so. But I think you have to be some type of freak to be doing 200 on this. 60 pounds for 8, that was pretty challenging. We're gonna rest for a bit, go for a second set, and just try to match that first set. Try not to lose more than 2 reps minimum. Alright. I think we're gonna go for that second set. Trying to get to shoulders. That's all we got, 6 reps. Biceps are feeling heavily pumped, super tight. But we're ready to move on to shoulders, so I think we're going to start with some machine rear delt flies. I'm going to find some type of overhead press variation to do, and then probably finish up with some machine lateral raises. Machine rear delt flies. Got the last one uploaded up right here. 130 pounds. Man, something about really keeping my chest nice and proud, my rib cage nice and stacked and, you know, cylindrical. When I, you know, do the fly motion, I'll lead with my pinky straight outwards. I can really feel my shoulder, like my shoulder girdle, travel and wrap back and around my ribs. And I can really feel it in my rear delts, almost even in my mid back at the end. But it's not like a roll, it's like a slight pinch right between the shoulder blades. And just feeling that alone, it really lets me know that I'm getting the right, the right path of motion from my rear delt. Because if you go inward from the rear delt, go inward to the center of the back, you get to the rhomboids and like the middle traps. I think we're gonna do 160 though for our working sets. Let's do that. The first working set. Let's make it a good one. That chest nice and proud. Push those hips back before you start. Oh, crap. That feels crazy in my fucking delts. Obviously, at the start of the movement, protract the scapula, Or as a simpler cue, just make sure your arms are reaching all the way straight out. Make sure for the most part you stay protracted throughout the whole movement, so you keep a nice straight forward arm. That was what, like 10? I think that was 10. But we're gonna stay at that 160 for our second set. And then I think we're gonna do a machine overhead press. Finish up with some machine lateral raises. And maybe we'll do some core slash hab at the end. Same weight of rear delt flies. Let's try to match that first one. I think it was 10. But let's go anyways. Okay. Oh, it's definitely 9. I counted them that time. I think we're good with those 2 sets. I feel pretty pumped. My rear delts, shoulders are feeling pretty good. we're ready to do an overhead press. So we're gonna do that. There's like this kind of Smith machine, kind of Smith overhead press machine I want to try. Never tried it. So we're gonna try that. Overhead kind of Smith machine press I was telling you guys about. So I did one warm-up set. I did a 25 per side for 12. This is a 45. I tried to do one rep and it was stupid heavy, so I'm gonna try it one more time. And if we can't even get the first one up, I'm gonna have to drop down. Ooh. 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 Okay. So we got 5 right there. That was stupid hard though. I was only surprised I got that first one up. But I guess I just had to lock in. I guess we're gonna leave it like that, and if I can get 4 reps on that second set, I'll take it. I mean, my first time ever using this shit, so doesn't feel too bad. As long as I keep my back nice and flat, you know, doesn't make my shoulders feel too crunchy or anything like that. But 45 pounds, that's stupid heavy. I was expecting to be able to do, you know, like at least 2 plates. Got like a minute and a half of rest. I feel ready though, so we're just gonna try to knock the second set out. Fuck. Okay. We got 5. That's all I needed. All I needed was to match that first set. 2 sets knocked out. I'm glad to say I'm done using this shit. And we got 1 more movement for shoulders, and then I'm probably gonna do some core/ab work, just because I'm trying to start doing it again consistently. But I'll see you guys as usual on that last warm-up set. Okay, so we're using this Nautilus machine. Seated, chest supported. We've got 90 pounds for the last warm-up set. So we're gonna feel this out. Depending on how that feels, we're gonna see how heavy we go for the top sets. Let's go. Okay. Oh, pretty easy. I think we're gonna go for like 120. Alright, we're gonna try 120. See how it feels. If it's too heavy, we just drop down. I don't think it'll be too light though. Okay, we got 6. That's a little too heavy. I want to get more like 8. So let's go 110. Drop 10 pounds. Hopefully that actually makes it lighter, you know. Got one more set right here. We can finish up with some core work, and then we're done for the day. So 110. If I can get 8, I'll be happy. That's it. Alright, we got 9 at a time. Barely. But I feel good about that set, so we can call it a day right here. For shoulders too. We got shoulders and arms knocked out already. Now we just got to do some core / ab work, and I'm good to head out of here. So we're going to start with this hoist ab crunch. Last one we set, we got 2 35 pounds loaded up. So I'm going to do a set of 4 right here, feel it out, and then try to gauge the top sets from there. Let's go. Okay, that feels super light. I used to max this machine out and even add like external plates. We're gonna try to, what's that say? I'm gonna try, what does it say? I can't read for shit. Okay, it should be 295, but they labeled this shit wrong. They've got the 335 and the 295 stickers swapped, but 295. Let's go. That's it. I think that was 10. Definitely 0 reps in reserve right there. But yeah, I used to be able to full stack this, but I was doing it almost every day.
You gotta take your tripod to the record set room. You gotta take your tripod to the record set room.
Okay, I just stopped recording, man. I just stopped recording.
That's cool, but you gotta take your tripod down.
Oh,
Yeah. Can't have your tripod on the.
I'd say, see you later. If I thought I'd see you later, and I'd tell you that I loved you. If I did, it's so strange deciding